Ladies and gentlemen, today we have another console to review, and this one is very interesting. It's this little console right here. Now, while it is small, I gotta admit, this one is very impressive. So let's go check out the quality of the emulation, and then we will come back over here and I'll give you my final thoughts. But before that, I just wanna say happy Thanksgiving. No matter where you're at in the world, I am very thankful for my viewers and my community. You guys really do mean the world to me. So yeah, let's go and get right into this one. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we have the Miyoo A30. And right away you can see that this console is very small. The console that it looks the most like is the Gameboy Advance Micro, which in itself was already a super niche console. So seeing this be modeled after that, I kind of find that pretty impressive. Normally these consoles come in like a box or something. This one comes in an actual case, and it comes with quite a few things. You have your USB-C charger, some wipes, and then down here there's a screen protector. But it actually comes with this right here, because this console does not actually have any headphone ports. So it has this little adapter right here, and they did not have to include this, but I do find that very cool. So quickly on the top, it actually has two top buttons on each side, so R1 and R2, L1, L2. I actually find that very interesting because it seems like with this console, they would kind of do the bare minimum, but yeah, they went above and beyond. It's actually a little bit heavier than you might think, and the thumbstick is the same thumbstick as the Nintendo Switch. So yeah, it has a lot going for it. In your hands, it feels very comfortable. Oh yeah, before we actually get into the games, here is it compared to my Nintendo Switch Lite. So as you can see, it is quite small compared to my Switch Lite. Out of all the consoles I review, this one probably has the most simple UI, but that's not actually a bad thing. I think that is an advantage or a thing good about this console. I'm at a loss for words. What is the word I'm looking for? That is one of its strengths, I guess. I mean, in the settings, you can change a couple things like the brightness, display. There's a joystick test, which is very interesting. I think there's themes, yeah, and there's not a lot to do. Basically, this console is just here for you to play games. And it actually has quite a few consoles on here. We have Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Sega Game Gear, what else? We have Genesis, Neo Geo, PlayStation 1, Nintendo DS, Super Nintendo, the Wonder Swan, Sega Master System. Then we have some ports in here as well, which is pretty weird. Cave Story, I mean, Cave Story is amazing. Right here, it says it has 221 Game Boy Advance games, but if you go up to, I believe this, yeah, now we have 1,700 Game Boy Advance games. Same thing for Super Nintendo. It says 300 games, but if you go to Miyoo Collection, now we're at 1,400 Super Nintendo games. So that's probably a mixture of Super Nintendo and Super Famicom. I said it in one of my last reviews, but the Tony Hawk ports on Game Boy Advance are some of the greatest ports of all time. It's so crazy. Like, if you've played these games, then you know this level. What is this, isometric? Is that what you would call this? It's just so damn impressive. It really is, man. Like, I can't believe these ports are this good. The only thing that you're gonna have to do without on the Game Boy Advance ports is the amazing soundtrack. But I actually don't mind it for once, because I can do this review without getting copyrighted. Like, look at this, man. It's Tony Hawk on the Game Boy Advance. And yeah, these things are awesome. On the top, there is a reset button, which is pretty good. And then when you click that, you can save your game, which is something you're gonna need to do if you wanna save your games, or you can exit, or you can reset the entire console. So that is how you get out of the games. Oh, I guess that isn't a reset button. That's actually a home button. That makes a little bit more sense. Let's test out good old reliable Sonic. What Sonic is this? Oh, Sonic 3. This is probably the Sonic that I have played the absolute least in my entire life. Not a bad Sonic game, but Sonic 2 just for me is absolutely peak. Sonic 3 is fine though. It is fine. Did you see that? That is Super Saiyan Sonic right there. I think the thing I don't like about Sonic 3 is the actual level design. But as you can see and hear, it's running perfectly fine. So this little tiny console can run Game Boy Advance perfectly fine. It can run Sega perfectly fine. And I always use Sonic because things were happening fast on the screen. I died. I actually didn't go fast yet, so let's go fast. And yeah, you can see there's no issues, there's no frame rate problems. Yeah, it's good to go, ladies and gentlemen. So the most taxing console on this entire console is PlayStation, so let's try to find a good PlayStation game. Alright, let's try some Street Fighter. I am horrible at fighting games. I don't really know any Street Fighter characters except like the most popular ones. So let's pick somebody I don't know. Let's pick this guy. Alright, are you ready to see me get beat up? Because I do not know how to play fighting games. But I think if it can run this game good, then that is a sign of a very good console. Yeah, look at that, dude. That is great quality of emulation right there. Okay, I'm piecing them up a little bit. Alright, maybe not. Is Street Fighter more about combos instead of like weird button combinations? That's what I feel like. Like Mortal Kombat is weird button combinations. I feel like Street Fighter is more about combos maybe. Come on. Dang, this is actually kind of fun. I might play this later now. Okay. Look at that, dude. This tiny console. Look at that image and listen to that music. This sounds and looks amazing. I am highly freaking impressed with this console. This might be my favorite console I have reviewed. So, I didn't even think about this thumbstick. Let's test out the thumbstick. Okay. The thumbstick works fine. I am not doing good, but yeah, thumbstick works great. This might be my favorite console I've reviewed so far. I'm not saying it's the best console or the strongest or the most impressive, but just for the novelty of it and the way it looks and sounds and how comfortable it is and how it's kind of like the Gameboy Advance Micro style, I really like this one. This one's fun. So as you can see, this is a very straightforward console. There's really not any hidden features in this console, but at the same time, there's not any hidden problems, so that's a good thing. If you just want a fun console that is kind of a novelty, right? This is a Game Boy Advance Micro inspired console. So if you want a console that's kind of a novelty, but at the same time has a lot of use and is full of amazing games, and I mean full of games, this is the console for you. So I'm reading a few key details over here, and I find it kind of interesting. The screen is actually 2.8 inches, but when you're actually using the console, it doesn't seem small. So maybe because the console itself is small, that you don't realize the screen is also small, but yeah, the screen is perfectly fine in my opinion. I absolutely love this gold and red. I believe there's a Game Boy Advance Micro that is the same color scheme, and I believe it's supposed to be like a Famicom color scheme. So that's the choice I would get if I didn't already have this, but there is another color. I can't really tell by the pictures if it's transparent, but there's like this charcoal gray color. I kind of like it. I like the buttons on it, but this gold and red color, man, it is absolutely beautiful. Now the most important thing that you guys want to know, and I never know the prices, right? They send me these consoles, I review them, and then I find out the price when I'm making these videos. So I always try to guess. I was gonna guess not high end, so not $100. I was gonna guess $80 or maybe bare minimum $69. And I think $69 is a perfect price point. I mean, 69, right? It's $69 and 420 cents, bro. Yes, best console of all time. But that's not the case. This console is fully priced at $55. That's why I'm saying I think this might be my favorite console I have reviewed so far. I don't think it's the best console I've reviewed. I don't think it's the most impressive console, but it is by far my favorite. You're getting an amazing value in a beautiful console that plays games great. But, you know, on my channel, I save you guys money. If you're interested in this console, go to the description and click the link. And at checkout, use my promo code, which is ROBOT, and you will save additional money. I think, if I'm not wrong, an additional 15%. So, I mean, what the hell are we doing here, right? The holidays are coming up. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you're a gamer. So either you want this console, or you want to get this console for somebody else, this would be an amazing gift because I think the novelty of it makes it such a good gift. Anybody who's a fan of Nintendo or Game Boy history, Game Boy Advance Micros, or Game Boy just in general, they're going to enjoy this. But then when they see all the amazing games in the console and how well it plays them, I mean, like, this would be such a damn good stocking stuffer or just a good gift in general. And the great thing is this one comes with a case already, with a bunch of accessories. So you're getting the console, the case, accessories, a million games, and you're paying $55, but getting it cheaper with my promo code. Yeah, I think I've said all I need to say. Yeah, you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.